This was one of the first video games I ever played, so I had a lot to learn. Jumping between gravity-defying planets and walking upside down took a lot of getting used to. I collected a few stars and then headed to the Loop-de-Loop Galaxy. And let me tell you, this level broke Little Bryson. In the level, you ride around a floating water race course on a Stingray. But I wanted to get the high score. I wanted to go fast. So my thumb never let go of the acceleration button, and that meant I couldn't make sharp turns. I kept flying off the map and dying. And to make it worse, I had to use motion controls. I couldn't beat it no matter how hard I tried. I started crying and Brody had to help me beat the level. This will go down in history as mankind's second greatest defeat involving stingrays. But after that little hiccup, I was ready to take on the rest of the game and lose to Bowser 50 times. But Brody, being a seasoned veteran gamer, coached me on how to perfectly time my spin moves, and I used them to spin Bowser like a Beyblade.
So long, Bowser!
I was feeling pretty good about my newly acquired gaming skills. Beating Bowser as a child is a big deal, okay? At that age, what else do you have to be proud of? The drawings you made that Mom hung up on the fridge? Well, bad news. Mom will throw those crappy drawings away while you're not looking. But the achievement of defeating the king of the Koopas, that lasts forever. Having a powerful imagination was a good thing in many ways, but this also meant that I was scared very easily. Taking the trash out in the dark felt like a life or death experience. I was convinced that an evil clown or alien would kill me if I didn't do it as fast as I could. And of course, when I turned out the last light in the house, I had to run to my room as fast as I could so that a shadow demon wouldn't catch me. Even as an adult, I avoid horror movies. It's just not worth it to me. I'd rather be happy and sleep well. But I wasn't just susceptible to scary things in movies. I also fell victim to fear-mongering stories designed to make me more obedient from my parents.
This is Santa. If you're a good boy, he'll give you a present at Christmas.
Awesome!
And this is the boogeyman. If you're a bad boy and disobey us, he'll kill you. Slowly and painfully. He'll violently rip your arms off and use them to bash your head in.
My dad really told me that if I played too many games on the GameCube, that it would take over my mind and I'd never be able to stop playing. This scared me to my core, and it's the reason I didn't start playing a lot of video games until I was 14. But there is something to be said about how good it was for me to play outside all the time. I am grateful that I didn't fry all my dopamine receptors with an iPad at age 5. Instead, I spent my time in glorious nature eating dirt. Eventually, we graduated from Mario Kart DS to Mario Kart Wii. This was the one that I've played the least because, as we already established, I don't understand motion controls. Also, apparently using a bike is the only viable option because doing a wheelie is just free acceleration, so that's pretty dumb. It didn't help me develop my skills at all, but it definitely added some great tracks, and using the plastic Wiimote was real fun as a kid. Look, Mom, I'm driving!
He's never getting his license.
Then I entered a training grounds worthy of my potential. Mario Kart 7. They added kart customization, underwater sections, gliders, and a bunch of amazing courses. And a much better drifting system. This was definitely the best Mario Kart at the time. I learned the strategies, I learned the shortcuts, and I began to step into my power. I started to be a much bigger challenge for my brothers, and Brody and Brayden could feel the reign of terror slipping away as I won more and more.
The Egyptians believed the most significant thing you could do in your life was die.
Let me tell you about the only fight Bo has ever been in. So there we were at the dog park. Bo was having a grand old time frolicking with the other dogs. Then in walks a Great Pyrenees. For anyone that doesn't know, a Great Pyrenees is basically the closest you can get to legally owning a polar bear. He was a big boy, and his name was Wallace. Now, Bo is usually good with other dogs, but sometimes when there's a dog that's bigger than him, he feels threatened and wants to establish dominance. Bo saw Wallace and immediately decided to F around, and believe me when I tell you, he found out. Bo ran over and jumped up to put his paws on top of Wallace. Wallace didn't like that. They started angrily barking and fighting, and the other owner and I quickly separated them. But Wallace wanted to set the record straight. He walked over to Bo and placed his paw on his shoulder as if to say,
"Do you feel in charge?"
Bo didn't like that. Bo growled and then jumped up to attack, but Wallace simply plowed into Bo and threw him flat on his back.
No dog was hurt, but needless to say, Bo got humbled that day and hasn't tried anything like that since. Did you know that a trespasser could sue you if they got attacked on your property because the beware of dog sign implies that you know the dog is dangerous? So you're better off getting a dog on premises sign. Did you know that on an early test run of Space Mountain, the test dummies came out without heads? The entire ride is also filled with high-power fans that blow on your face and make you feel like you're going way faster than you really are, but you'd never know because you're in the dark. Did you know that if your brain hears the same information as little as 2 or 3 times, it will probably believe it, even if there's no factual evidence to back it up? Did you know that the moon landing was faked?
I had demolished Brody and Braden so many times that I unlocked the final frontier of Mario Kart's skill, a forbidden technique known as item smuggling. In the game, the strongest items are given to the people in the back of the race to even things out. Basically, you purposefully hang back in the race to cycle through the best items, and then use them to take shortcuts and sweep in at the last moment to steal a victory. This strategy is especially mean because if you succeed, someone is getting teased with the chance at a first place spot for the whole race, only for you to snatch it from them in the last second. I've done this countless times to family and friends to dunk on them, and I finally fulfilled my childhood dream of being better than my brothers at something. With my enemies defeated, my thirst for victory was finally quenched. Now, I know what you must be thinking. This guy must be pretty bad at everything else if the only thing he can brag about is being good at a children's video game. And to that I say, yeah, that's pretty true. Just let me have this, please. Mario was definitely a great part of growing up, and I'll always have fond memories of playing games with my brothers, and it's been nice to finally defeat them. Little brothers gotta take what we can get. And in all seriousness, it was very sweet of Brody to always help me find hidden secrets and beat levels that were too hard for me. And I'm very happy to have so many great memories gaming with the boys. A weird ability that my eyes have developed is that I can unfocus them at will. Whenever I'm bored, boom, I can just make everything go blurry. It's great for when I don't want to pay attention to something, or for when a movie goes too long without a fight scene. But a side effect of unfocusing my eyes is that I look really stupid while doing it. Look. Okay, here's my special talent. I'm focused on the camera, now I'm not. Now I am, now I'm not. Now I am, now I'm not. Anyway, I try my best to hide my affliction from the world, but sometimes I forget about my curse. Despite my efforts, I zoned out in high school once. And when I zoned back in, I was staring at a girl I knew. And I could see in her face that my cover was blown. Wait, are your eyes? Yes, they're weird and disgusting, I know. We laughed it off and talked. As many of you know, I'm a very late bloomer. I looked way younger than a normal high school boy. Then, as we talked, the girl said, I just had a vision of you in the future. It's a glow up. And her prediction still hasn't come true. I've been waiting all this time. About time. Wait, was that girl flirting with me? I guess my stormy eyes have gotten someone to fall in love with me. Too bad I realized this 5 years too late. I guess pain really is beauty. It takes a lot of work to look this good. But at least it's over now.
Hey, by the way, I just scheduled your wisdom teeth removal surgery.
Wisdom teeth. Why do they call them wisdom teeth? Those teeth are obviously stupid idiots because they're going the wrong freaking way. Vestigial structures, useless body parts, are so stupid, and some of them actually hurt you. Your appendix can blow up and kill you for no reason. Your wisdom teeth sprout out of nowhere and ruin your other straight teeth. And don't even get me started on the tailbone. These things have no purpose. That's just bad character design. As the games got better, so did I. But it definitely took a while for me to get used to 200cc, where the karts go insanely fast. You actually have to use the brakes in order to turn sharp enough and not fly off the track. But after I mastered that, I became unstoppable.
You're weak, just like the rest of your people. They did not deserve to exist in this world, in my world. Prepare to join them. Prepare to die!
And because of my wonky eye, my depth perception isn't great, and you guessed it,
That means I'm terrible at sports. Honestly, I'd probably suck at sports even with perfect eyes because of my bad reflexes, but it's nice to have something to blame. I'm seriously scared to play basketball because I feel like there's a 50% chance that I'll get crossed up so bad that I break both my ankles and then get my nose broken by the ball. My physical form ain't built for that. My physical form is good enough to draw silly little pictures though. I just love the classic Incredibles costume look. So, with that in mind, I decided to make myself into a superhero. Meet Super Bryson, the Makeshifter. My powers are shape-shifting and summoning energy-based objects. Think of it like if Miss Marvel and Green Lantern had a baby, and it was me. I went with bright colors because they match my energy and I like the classic look. What makes The Incredibles so special is that it's a whole family fighting crime together. So what makes me unique is that I fight crime as a team with my dog. Meet Superbo.
Really? Superbo is the best you could come up with?
Sick 'em! He can fly and has a laser bark, and we fight crime together as a team.
That's kinda lame.
And of course, no dog story is complete without the rite of passage of the dog almost dying. One time, Brody and Jen were cleaning out a relative's storage unit when they heard Molly chewing on something.
It's a brick of rat poison!
Oh my God!
They rushed her to the vet, and the vet gave her eye drops to make her vomit the poison, because apparently that's a thing. I don't know anything about how any of that works, but they saved her, and she's okay. Woohoo! Molly, I really thought this went without saying, but please don't eat poop or rat poison. But there was also a multiplayer game where you fight each other to get the most stars, and my brothers and I took it very seriously.
Bryson's got 3 stars! Brayden, Brenner, get him!
Stay back! I earned these!
Sneak attack!
Mom! Brayden stole my star!
No cap? It's giving little brother energy. Brayden obviously ate with that, and you're Delulu if you think I'm gonna punish him for slaying. I gotta let him cook. Don't let your mentee bee get in the way of his dub. Just cope and take the L, for real, for real.
But I haven't introduced you to Bo's packmates yet. Let's start with his roommate, Brayden and Kira's dog, Winston. To help you get to know Winston better, I've made a list of his pros and cons. The pros: I like when he sits in my lap, and I like the way he smells. Literally everything else about him is a con. Let's get into it. His life is literally perfect, but despite this, he grumbles and groans and complains all the time. He has everything he could possibly need and more, and yet he's always like... And now, I am a very well-rounded, well-adjusted, socially adept young man. Yeah, me and my cousin were hanging out, and, you know, we built a Lego set the other day. You like Lego? I love Legos. Did you know that Lego was invented in 1932 in Denmark by a man named Ole Kurt Christiansen? Originally, they were just wooden toys, but eventually they started making interlocking plastic bricks to create a system in which all their toys can be linked together. Despite many hardships, including their factory burning down, Ole and his family persevered and continued to manufacture the unique brick system. Then in 1978, the Lego minifigure as we know it was created. Minifigures are a high-value collector's item. In fact, a recent study showed that buying Lego sets was a better investment than the stock market because of how well they hold their value. This means that buying and building Lego sets isn't just a fun hobby, it's a smart way to use your money. Guys?
Next obsession, animals. I used to love catching frogs and then racing them against each other. If my friend had a pet, I would insist on holding it and petting it. In fact, my discovery of YouTube was just me watching videos of hamsters for hours on end and begging my parents to let me get one. And eventually, they finally caved and got me one. The day I got him, me and my family were watching the Bee Movie. So I named my hamster Barry, short for Barry B. Benson, of course. But then I decided to introduce Barry to my dog Duke, without consulting my parents. Rest in peace, Duke. Duke slowly sat down, gave him a sniff, and very gingerly murdered Barry right in front of me. Mom! And that's why I don't watch the Bee Movie anymore. Rest in peace, Barry. The sorting ceremony will now begin. Mr. Bryson, please step forward. Oh, I know just what to do with you. Hufflepuff!
Why are you crying?
Not gonna lie, I was pretty upset when I took the online test and figured out that I really am a Hufflepuff, aka a disappointment. I was also sad when I turned 11 and didn't receive a Hogwarts acceptance letter. Turns out Hogwarts isn't real. It's a hard pill that you just gotta swallow. The reality shifting community is still struggling with that one. Actually, Bryson, reality shifting is real. This TikTok told me so, and you can project your consciousness to other realities and nope, not real.